Episode 11 of Dear Hyeri opens with glimpses of Eunho and Hyunho's past relationship as they reconcile after 4 years of separation. Hyunho speaks to Eunho's inner child, and young Eunho tells him all about Hyeri and how unhappy she's been. Meanwhile, Juyeon struggles with the reality of his short-lived romantic life. Eunho visits her colleague at the parking station and reveals the truth about Hyeri. Juyeon catches Eunho at the parking lot, where they decide to go on a last date for a good breakup. Eunho then returns to her job, ready to take on the world. She tells Hyunho about her good breakup date, and he pretends to be a cool boyfriend. Later, they both leave work early. That night, Eunho and Juyeon meet up for their good breakup date, where Juyeon finally lets Eunho go and starts his journey to move on. The next day, while together, Hyunho needs to leave for a family photo and finally takes Eunho home to meet his family. Overall, the grandmothers seem to have no issues with Eunho. We also learn that Jae-young has been demoted for reporting an erroneous story that led to a business owner losing his job. Now, he's been receiving calls from the business owner's son, which he's afraid to answer. Meanwhile, Eunho gets a substitute gig covering the 7 p.m. news slot. At media in Seoul, Hyun asks Juyeon if he'd notice her absence, to which he replies that things would feel the same with or without her presence. Later, Hyun submits her resignation letter for unknown reasons. Eunho does well in her new gig and later meets with Hyunho, where Jae-young is seen asking him to meet with the business owner's son. Irritated, Hyunho takes the call and agrees to meet him in Jae-young's place. The episode ends with a truck heading towards Hyunho, implying he gets into an accident while on a call with Eunho. Firstly, the tonal shift in this episode is extremely jarring. Suddenly, Eunho finds happiness, heals her disorder in an incredibly short period, and everyone seems to forget the complications that were initially central to the show. The episode begins with Eunho sharing her newfound definition of happiness, discovered while pretending to be Hyeri. It's to be with the person you love. This might have been a simple, heartwarming statement if we didn't know about Eunho's destructive feelings toward Hyunho, which kept her suffering for so long that she disappeared for a month after learning about his potential marriage. Eunho is, quite literally, right back where she was 5 years ago, in Hyunho's arms. Sadly, the episode projects this as her happy ending. Fortunately, at least Hyunho has shown some growth as a character, that too forced, because now there needs to be a wedding at all costs in the finale. Additionally, the episode clearly feels like filler, just bridging the way to wrap things up in the final episode. Overall, the writer seems to glorify an outdated notion of romance and happiness, where love solves all problems, and happiness is found solely by clinging to one person, regardless of whether that love might land you in therapy. These issues with the show are so glaring that the more mature themes, such as Eunho's attempt at a good breakup to give Juyeon closure, are easily overlooked. Now, the grandmothers have accepted Eunho, and the entire melodrama spanning the last 10 episodes feels massively ridiculous, especially in how poorly Hyeri has been treated as a plot device.